All right, next up is the Pickleball Apes Pulse X. And this paddle has been an interesting one to dial in. It's a 16mm thermoform paddle with a Kevlar and nylon face. And while the power profile has opened up slightly, maybe around 5% since I first played it, it still leans more control than it does power to me. The feel is soft but not mushy, and it's got this plush, consistent response that reminds me a bit of how the Technofiber paddles play. More on those later. It's very controlled, plush, and super easy to play with and reset with. The static weight is 7.9 ounces, and the balance point comes in at 24.3 centimeters, which gives the paddle a feel that leans slightly head heavy, but not extreme, but just enough to add some plow through on drives. The swing weight is up there at 121.05, so it's on the heavier side, which helps with power but can slightly slow your hand speed. The twist weight is 6.3, offering decent stability for most shots, though it's not the most forgiving on mishits on aggressive shots. Power-wise, it's good, but measured. On serves, my average speeds clocked in at 55.6 miles per hour, just a touch above the average in my database, and punch volleys average 36.2 miles per hour, landing right in the middle of the pack. The pop is there when you go after it, but it's not going to surprise you with unexpected bounce. Spin is good at 2,167 RPM, enough to shape shots and keep drives dipping, though it's not going to rival top spin paddles. Would it be noticeable? Probably not. Where the Pulse X shines is in the soft game. Resets, drops, and dinks feel consistent and controlled, and it's easy to absorb pace without popping the ball up. The plush feel gives it that slightly muted response, but not in a way that feels dead or disconnected, just smooth and consistent. It's one of those paddles that rewards control and precision, but still offers enough power to stay dangerous. I'd still classify this as an all-court paddle, maybe slightly leaning control. It's not going to overpower anyone, but it gives you confidence to slow the game down and reset under pressure. And the power it does have feels predictable and easy to manage. Speaking of power, the paddle hasn't opened up like my Pulse V or S, with the S being my favorite of the Pulse series shape. It retails for $199, but you can save 10% with my code MPB. If the power opens up more over time, the paddle increases in capability, but even now, it's a strong option for players who value control with good driving force.